Hi, and welcome to week 2 of Diversity and Conflict, SB&M 5040. I think most of you had a great start last week. A few of you are struggling to catch up, and I hope that you will do so quickly as not to get further behind. Last week's discussion, there were some really interesting articles, videos, etc. shared around which you discussed why those things were important for you to share with us. This week, the next part of that same discussion, after reading, if you have not yet done so, all of those contributions that your classmates have made, choose 2 of them that you found particularly relevant, that you would like to spend some time in dialogue over, and respond to each of those 2. Of course, you can do more, but you're only required to do 2. In approximately 150 to 250 words for each response. You will share your experience, perhaps, why that post resonated with you, or share insights that you gained from what the student said. Maybe you have a difference of opinion or some concerns. Explain why. But remember, this is to promote civil discourse. This is to practice giving feedback that can be heard rather than rejected because the right words weren't used in responding. So find the 2 that you would like to do that with. Last week, your original post was worth 6 points. This week, you have a total of 10 points to earn in this discussion, 5 for each of your responses. So take some time and be thoughtful in the response that you provide to the other students. Look around, try to find someone who has not yet had a response, but most importantly is to find responses that resonate with you, or posts that resonate with you that you would like to enter into dialogue with. That's the first part. The second part of the week are your 2 written assignments. This week you're getting into skill development with Roosevelt Thomas, who indicates that there's 3 skills that leaders of diversity need to develop. One is to recognize diversity mixtures. I did some narrated PowerPoint slides to help you with this, but Roosevelt Thomas does a good job in the text. Diversity mixtures are all the mixtures where there are both similarities and differences that exist, but also where tension is present. So oftentimes we just look at the surface level diversity mixtures: race, gender, age, etc. And those are the ones that we often tend to go to. But in your first assignment, I'm asking you to identify 15, because most of the diversity mixtures in our organizations are below the surface. Things like educational levels, things like differing functions that we have in an organization, personality differences, political differences, pay wage differences, management style differences. There are so many. Look at my slides, listen to the narration, read Thomas. So you'll identify at least 15 diversity mixtures in your organization. That's the first skill. He says to learn to identify them and diagnose the tension. The second part is to look at specifically where the tension needs to be addressed, because there's always tension in diversity, right? So where within those diversity mixtures is there tension that's dysfunctional, that needs to be worked with? And then the final skill is to determine which of the diversity operational options need to be applied, and in what way using those diversity options or blend of options, it doesn't have to be just one, is going to make the function or the tension functional. And he talks about things like, and I go over this in my slides, things like inclusion and exclusion, suppression, um, assimilation, mutual adaptation, relationship building, etc. So read about those, spend some time, and you will then do your first assignment utilizing those skills, and you're just practicing, you're just learning these skills that are a critical part of diversity, leading diversity in organizations. And the second written assignment is to take a look at the gender diversity that exists in your organization. Yes, it's an above the surface mixture, and include your learning from the video, but talk about where that tension needs to be addressed and which options you believe should be used to do that. That's the week. It's continuing good dialogue around difficult topics, but it's also beginning to practice skills in leading diversity, identify diversity mixtures, determine where the dysfunctional tension exists, and apply the appropriate action options. That's it for this week. Please do not hesitate to contact me. Should you have questions, if you're still struggling a bit with last week, let me know. And I hope you have a great week.